What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another review for Monday Night Raw. This one is from April 15th, 1996. On tonight's episode, we are to get words from Bret Hart. He seems to be contemplating making a return after his loss at WrestleMania 12. Imagine if that was Bret's last match. It would be like Tom Brady retiring after losing to the Giants in 2007. Bret Hart, though, will give us at least one more good year. Since I'm not a fan of WCW, I have no idea if his last 5 years there were any good. But at least when he does eventually return, spoiler alert, he will give us another good year in the WWF. Anyways, our first match is Marc Mero versus Leif Cassidy. Sable makes her way down with Marc after leaving her previous client, Hunter Hearst Helmsley. There was also a sign in the crowd that said Leif Cassidy would be WWF champion in 7 years. We're going to have to do a flashback in 2003 to see if that fan predicted the future or if he was smoking meth. I don't know why, but I really wasn't into this match. Marc gets a comeback going after Leif Cassidy was working on him for the majority of the match. He then pulls off a sunset flip from the top rope for the pin and the win. So Marc keeps his momentum going, as he will probably be taking on Hunter Hearst Helmsley at one of the next pay-per-views, or a match that they will hype up on Raw. Next up, we have Diesel calling into commentary to explain himself after what he did to Shawn at Madison Square Garden and on last week's Raw. Nothing really to go into. He just says that he's better, and because he was friends with Shawn, he knows how to beat him. I'm paraphrasing there, but you get the gist. And their match at In Your House will now be a no-holds-barred match. Makes that a little bit more intriguing as opposed to it just being a regular one-on-one match. And it's also a WrestleMania 11 rematch with the roles being reversed. I wonder if Pamela Anderson is going to be making a return appearance at this one. But if I remember correctly, with what Pamela Anderson did at WrestleMania 11, I use the word did very loosely there because she did nothing. I don't think anybody would be clamoring for her to return. Then we have Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Bart Gunn, as we see footage from the WWF Superstar show where a masked man pinned Austin and he unmasked to reveal himself as Savio Vega. So that rivalry will continue, it looks like. Savio has a title match against Goldust later tonight, so we can only assume, per the wrestling handbook, that Austin will cost him the title match later on. But into this match, Bart keeps the control on Austin with a couple of rest holds. Austin is pretty quick when he goes between sequences. I don't know why I never noticed that before when watching Austin matches, but this is also pre-Owen Power Driver, so maybe that's why. During the match, something starts happening in the crowd, but people turn their attention back to the match before it could even become a distraction to anybody watching on TV. Security in the 90s seems like it was better than it is today. Bart starts to get some moves in, but he goes to run the ropes, and Ted pulls the leg to stop the momentum. Austin then gets put in the sleeper hold, but Austin hits a jawbreaker, or at least that's what I think that counter move is called. Someone let me know in the comments. This allows Austin to put Bart in the $1 Million Dream and gets the submission for the win. This match had little heat. Bart Gunn, or Billy as well for that matter, are not over as singles guys, it appears. They are somewhat over as the Smoking Guns, but this match showed that they aren't anything without the other, at least at this point. Same with Austin. At this point, the WWF audience doesn't give a damn about Stone Cold, but they also haven't been given a reason to. He's cut maybe one or two promos on Raw, so there's nothing really there for us to care about. Next, we have Jim Cornette and Vader coming out to the ring. Long story short, they just tell us that Vader will be facing Razor Ramon at In Your House. So yeah, Razor making his return for In Your House. Who knows if he's going to be on Raw, but on paper at least, Razor versus Vader, that is interesting. Then we get a video package for Sunny. If you recorded this on a VHS back in the day, I can only imagine how fucked up that part of the tape was from all the rewinding you did. Don't try to deny it. Luckily for you, it's the 2020s, so now you can replay this all you want. Speaking of hot and sensual, we have Goldust taking on Savio Vega for the Intercontinental title. Goldust tries to seduce Savio at the start, but Vega tells him to go fuck himself. Don't know if that's an insult because Goldust might find that as a great suggestion. Goldust also runs his trunk into Savio's junk in the corner. What the hell am I even reviewing right now? Then Savio hits a power slam and later gets Goldust in the corner. As homophobic as these guys are, they sure do like feeding into the act. Savio slaps him in the ass and then does the little dance Goldust does back to him while he was in the corner. Goldust gets Savio in the Steiner recliner. Then he goes to grab a mic and hear what he says.
If you people do not shut your mouths right now, I am personally going to come out there and kiss each and every one of you. So shut up!
Yeah, sure he is. Come over here and get play one on McMahon. No one can incense a crowd like Goldust.
That was the funniest thing I could have imagined him saying. You could have given me like 100 tries, and I wouldn't have not ever guessed that he was gonna say that to the crowd. And the crowd got even louder. So again, they want to pretend to be homophobic, but they feed into it. I think even Vince got louder on commentary. This does get the crowd up and behind Savio as he catches Goldust on the top as he went for a superplex. Goldust blocks it and kisses Savio to knock him off. I couldn't believe what was going on during this match already, but that was the cherry on top. Savio, though, is not out yet as he gets another comeback on Goldust. Not to be confused with coming on the back of Goldust. That would be a different form of Raw entertainment. They return from commercial and the official gets knocked down. Another official comes out and Goldust tries using the belt, but Savio able to see it coming. Vega then grabs the belt and nails Goldust with it. The original ref comes too, and to not confuse everybody, I mean two as in T-O and not T-O-O. With Goldust out there, you never know. So the referee comes to and counts the pin, and Savio Vega is declared the winner. But the referee that came out to check on the first ref gets in the ring to tell him what happened, and instead of calling a DQ or a no contest, they announce that the championship is now vacated and they will have a rematch next week. That match was a roller coaster of emotions, anger, comedy, love, joy, all of the above. But at the end, it really meant nothing as the title gets vacated after a convoluted ending. I'm not saying it was bad. To be honest, it was the perfect amount of chaos in a TV title match. But I don't get why the vacating of the title. Just keep it on Goldust via DQ, and you can still rematch it the next week. It's not like WWF is against doing rematches. We've actually seen this before. Jarrett and Bob Holly had the same instance happen with the same Intercontinental title, and they also did it with the tag titles. Savio and Razor Fake won them, and they lost to Yokozuna and Owen the next week in a rematch. Who knows? Who cares really? It is what it is. Goldust will just be a two-time champion after next week. Then we get word from Bret Hart. He is complaining about the 60-minute Iron Man match not being a 60-minute Iron Man match because they restarted it. So, as far as he's concerned, he technically never lost the Iron Man match. He also brings up that he wouldn't want to ever work for another wrestling company because he sees it as a step down. He's not in it for the money, he also says, but at this time, he's not looking to come back because he feels like he's been betrayed after losing the belt. So he's kind of breaking the fourth wall, but not really. He probably is really feeling betrayed by Vince or the WWF as a whole, but you can also see him saying that he got betrayed by the officials in the WWF kayfabe wise after restarting the Iron Man match, even though it was only supposed to be 60 minutes. So Brett does go away for a little while after this. I'm not sure if we get more videos like this from him throughout the weeks or months, but I could see this pointing to Brett and the fans growing apart. He's usually always there and willing to keep fighting after being knocked down, but this time looks like he's done being the nice guy, so we will see how that continues, and that was how the show ended. I really enjoyed this episode after the first match. I don't know if it could be a great episode because I don't think it really had anything memorable. So, because of that, I would just say that this was a good episode. Nothing more. But yeah, that Goldust match was really entertaining to watch. Not the most technically sound or anything, but if you wanted to show someone what a sports entertainment type of match is, this one will be one of them, even though it is kind of gay. So, if you were to show somebody, you would have to tell them what the gimmick and what the situation was. Because if you didn't tell them any of that and they just watched this with you, they would think something is going on with you. So, with all that being said, let me know what you think of Bret Hart leaving after losing the belt. Sour grapes, or is this attitude warranted? And if you had a match with Goldust, would you let him kiss you for the benefit of getting heat for the match? Some of you guys would probably just let him kiss you to say that you had Goldust kiss you. But, anyways, leave your thoughts in the comments and remember to subscribe. But until the next one, I am out.